down. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you know who I am the one and only. Nice to meet you. So today we're gonna be talking about, can you make this job as an Amazon delivery driver a career? Simple answer is no. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you watching the video. You can move on to the next. For real though, guys, can you be an Amazon delivery driver for the rest of your life? Make it a career? Yes or no? The answer will always be it depends. Why do I say it depends? Because it depends if you have a good DSP, do they have good insurances, do they have good working hours, things like that. A lot of the times, guys, I'm gonna start off with peak season. Peak season, you can make good money. So you can be making like, I'd say 40 hours, sometimes overtime, 50, maybe 60, depending on where you are, where you're working, and how much your DSP allows it. But during peak season, that's when the holidays are coming. The times can go up, right? The times working can go up, the number of routes can go up, and everybody's working, everybody's happy doing a job. Some people don't show up to work, but that happens all the time, every job you work at. The problem comes when the job ends or when peak season ends. So when peak season ends, let's say your DSP started off with 60 routes. They were at 60 routes during peak season. And when peak season was over, it just dropped from 60 to 40. Now, they don't have as many routes that they need for the drivers. Now, a lot of people are out of work. So they have to let the people go. Either you were bad at the job, they let you go, or you were temporary, or you're a full-time. Like I said, you were bad, so they let you go. So a lot of times after peak season, jobs do drop a lot. And if you lost your job, guys, during or after peak season, let me know. And I'm sorry, that sucks, but it happens. Amazon raises routes and then it drops routes after peak season. So this is one of the reasons why I think this job, at least as a delivery driver, you cannot make it a career, because after peak season, the routes drop. Another reason why I think you cannot make this career, or it depends if you can make this a career or not, is because if you're a delivery driver and you're not either moving up in position or getting a raise somehow, you might not be making enough money to make ends meet. After peak season, the number of deliveries, the number of stops goes down, so you're not making that overtime anymore. You're maybe not making 40. Here in Texas, the minimum, I believe, a full-time job is 32 hours. So you might be hitting 32 hours depending on what DSP you work for and how much packages they have to deliver each and every single day. It might not be enough work for you to survive off of, and you might have to either get a part-time job somewhere else while peak season comes back around throughout the year, or just find another job in general. So there is a lot of people leaving this job, a lot of people not staying because either there's not enough work or the job is not for them and the job's too hard. If you can move up, awesome. If you can make it into a dispatch position and make more money that way, awesome. Make it a career. Try to get into the management position somehow, some way. Try to make it into management. If your DSP is not as established and they're growing, maybe they'll have room to expand, room for growth. Some DSPs are established, they have expanded, they have everything they need. They're just looking for drivers to help them deliver stuff. So there will sometimes, or a lot of time, not be room for growth. And by that I mean there's no way for you to move up in position, so you'll always be a delivery driver. And speaking of just being a delivery driver, some DSPs may not give you raises. You might get a bonus here and there a year, maybe Christmas. Amazon does give bonuses to drivers or something like that. But some DSPs are greedy and they won't give you a bonus. You're only making that $16.50 an hour, those 17, depending on where you live, 17, 18, whatever you make, that's what you make. And you never get that raise you wanted or asked for, whatever. So it just depends on the DSP if they want to give the raise or not. If they do, awesome. If they have some kind of bonus system, cool. But some DSPs might not have raises or bonus systems, okay? A lot of DSPs are different. You might get a good DSP, you might get a bad DSP. This is another reason. If you get a bad DSP, your DSP might breach contract, or something happens where their contract is terminated and they no longer will be working for Amazon. And after the month or after 2 months, they might no longer have any contracts. So you might have to start looking into another job. The good news is that if you worked for a DSP and your DSP moved, lost the contract, whatever, then you can actually apply at another DSP, and most likely the DSP that you apply to will take you because you can skip all the training. You don't have to go through all those videos again, watch the videos for 2 days and then the driving test and all that. And you can go straight to back to standard routes and start making whatever they pay, right? So if you're making $16.50 at one DSP that lets you go, you make the same thing at a DSP or a little bit more. It just depends on how much the DSP pays. So that's a good thing that other DSPs want experienced drivers. So it's a lot faster for them to take you if one DSP loses contract or they move or something happens to the DSP. And that's another thing. If it moves and then you can't get another job somewhere else, it's gonna be hard for you to get a job. You know what I mean? Like unexpectedly, there was a video going on online where the DSP owner or someone announced that the DSP owner is moving to another state, and everybody that was there that day lost their job. No more work for anybody. And there was this lady crying, bawling her eyes out.
Most of you know, I'm sure, Sean moved to Arizona to be closer to his family. I know that he has his brother and his father
and all that stuff. So it just depends on the DSP. Everything at Amazon it depends. It depends. I know you hear this word a lot from me, but it does depend on where you work, who you're working for, and how the company's doing. If you get a good DSP, guys, like I have so far been doing so good. They've been doing pretty good. They've been keeping up with everything they need to keep up. They've been progressing. I've been with my company for a little bit more over 2 years. I went from a delivery driver to a dispatcher to a HR assistant. Now I'm driver trainer. And if the DSP, I started with the DSP when it was barely starting, so it was pretty fresh. And then I've been working my way, I guess, up, you could say. I've been working here for this long, and I managed to make it up in the chain. So if you start off with a newer DSP, guys, you might have a chance to grow. You might have a chance to get into dispatch management position. You just have to make sure that, or the DSP has to make sure they're doing everything they're supposed to. That way they can grow and that they don't breach some type of contract with Amazon, because if they breach it, Amazon will not renew their contract. So there is a chance, there is potential for growth. It just depends on the DSP you're working for, if they're doing a good job, if they're following the rules, if their drivers are showing up to work and they're delivering all their routes and stuff like that. If your DSP can do that, then it can expand, it can grow, it can make multiple locations, different places, have one DSP here, the same DSP at another location. Their DSP just has to be able to keep up with what Amazon does, because Amazon changes a lot, and I believe it's like on a weekly basis. One day they want this and one day they want that. Making this a career, guys, it can happen. I just wouldn't count on it, okay? Money wise, pay wise, I don't think it will ever come close to the way FedEx or the way UPS pays. I think the max at UPS is like $30 something an hour, and I'm pretty sure a lot of DSP owners and managers and stuff like that do not want to pay that much, guys. If you're making $17-18 an hour and then you want to make more, I recommend using this as like a gateway or a door to better options. So if you feel like Amazon's not the place for you, or you can't make it a career, use the experience you learn as a delivery driver at Amazon and use it at UPS. You'll have the driving experience, delivery experience, the walking experience. All that experience can be used for other companies, FedEx, UPS, USPS, and all that stuff. And the benefits are a lot better at UPS and all that stuff compared to DSPs, because some DSPs have good benefits, some DSPs have bad benefits. It probably won't ever compare to UPS or anything like that. So can you make this job a career, guys? It depends, guys. It really does depend. If your company's growing, everything's going good for your company, yes, there is a way for you. Maybe move up the chain, become dispatch manager, trainer, something, some sort of help for your company, and working your way up. But if you're stuck as a delivery driver, guys, if you enjoy it, being a delivery driver for Amazon, if you enjoy it, if this is what you want to do and it works for you, do it. I'm not saying don't do it. If you want to stay here for the rest of your life. Do whatever you want. But if you want something that's going to give you like 40,000 a year, 50,000, 60,000, this is not the place for you, in my opinion. Okay, my opinion only. If your company's paying you a whole bunch of money, then yeah, this place is a place for you. But if it's not gonna do raises and things like that, move you up the chain, things like that, it's not a career, guys. This is not a career, in my opinion. But if you can move up and become management somehow and you get good pay, it can be a career. So I would say about 90% of the time, you cannot make this a career. 15 to 10% of the time, you can possibly make it a career. It just depends. It sucks that the word depends pops up a lot, but it is true, guys. I don't want to get your hopes up. I don't want to be like, hey, I want to work as an Amazon delivery driver for the rest of my life. I'm going to be making this much money after this much time, blah, blah, blah. No. There might be times when you come into work, guys, and I'm being honest with you guys. Honest. You might show up to work and there might not be a work for you. So, for example, let's say you showed up to work and then Amazon dropped the route that you were supposed to have that day. You showed up to work, it's your scheduled day, but there is no route for you that day. So now you have to go home, clock out. You only worked, 10 minutes, and now you're going home. That might happen, guys, especially after peak season. Some DSPs, or depending on where you live, they're still having like peak season deliveries. So depending on where you live, you might have more work. But a lot of places you go show up to work and you get sent home because they don't have enough work. Okay. If you're like speeding all the time, throwing your packages, not doing what you're supposed to do, there can be consequences to that. This job is very tiring, very physical. It seems easy on paper, but when you start delivering, guys, a lot of people do change their minds and start quitting. So if you're gonna work here, just know that this job is very physical, very tiring, and there are dogs. There are the rural routes where you're delivering to the country, and it gets dark early at night, and then you can't see anything. Like I said, there are dogs. There have been a lot of dog bites. I've seen some pretty gnarly dog bites, and it looks pretty gross. And I've seen some minor injuries. There are crashes because I'm not saying that you're a bad driver, but the people around you are bad drivers, and things happen, guys. It is a driving job. So just so you know, there are a lot of things to deal with, but making this a career, you probably have more of a chance of making a career at UPS or maybe even FedEx. Because honestly, guys, your DSP can be here one day and it cannot be here the next. It can just drop like that. Or your DSP, hey, I want to move, like that one video going around on the internet. I want to move. So your DSP owner just moves with this whole company and takes it somewhere else, and you just lost the job. All right, guys. So this is my opinion only. What's your experience? What's your thoughts behind this? Did you make it a career? Do you feel like you can make this a career and stay as a delivery driver your whole life at Amazon? Or are you going to use this as a gateway to like get experience and then work for UPS or FedEx or something like that? I recommend FedEx Express because FedEx Ground is trash, in my opinion, okay? And yeah, guys, that's all I got for you today. If you want to watch any funny videos or any funny skits, or you're going to work at Amazon, check out these videos. They might help you out. They might not, but at least you'll get a good laugh. All right, guys, I'll see y'all next time. I appreciate you being here. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed because I need to get to 100 million subscribers. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Hey, what's going on?